uh, you know, yeah.
Well, it's gonna be the last time I ever use cottage cheese now, so whatever the last time I used it.
It's pretty horrific.
Ugh. Welcome everyone to Dungeons and Dragons in Hawk Signal Fences, 5th edition, all that fun jazz. Make sure to keep caught up as this is our episode number 37. Hey, look, my chat's working today. That's fun. Camera zoom. You just have to move. Alright, last time we left off, our group fought off those wyverns that had not really ambushed, but struck from their hiding place. And I guess that is an ambush. And after defeating them, gone and found the Obsidian Tower. Is it 38? Yeah, I just changed it. It is 38.
38.
I am so good at numbers. Whatever. All right. So welcome. I'll restart. Don't worry. Welcome. This is get caught up. Go to bit.ly/leafjackgaming and watch everything in its neat and assorted list, fully updated for your convenience. So where we're gonna begin is where we left off, and that was learning about Jack quite a bit, and his past, as well as him seeing a very strange vision of some sort, where a celestial figure came down out of the sky and merged with someone his grandfather called Eluna. Jack has since returned and is with the rest of the group.
Was it?
Aurora.
It was Aurora, wasn't it?
Sorry, you're right. It was Aurora. I knew I messed that name up. I was gonna double check my notes. That was the one thing I forgot to bring up before we began.
We got you. Don't worry.
Keeping me straight.
Sorry.
Always happy to correct you.
What were you saying?
We're gonna start from there. Jack, you open your eyes, or you had opened your eyes, and you're back with the rest of the party. The party, you guys saw him kind of go like blank in the eyes, and then very shortly after, he returned to you.
I recall him telling us what he saw.
I think
do too.
I do too. So yes, I need to really catch myself up before we jump into things. Nah. So, what would you guys like to do from here?
I believe the consensus at the end of last session was we wanted to continue to research in this area for things to help Jack be imbued with his bloodline.
Yep.
Okay. So how much time do you guys want to spend here?
We made it here, what, a day? A day and a half?
To get here was a day and a half.
So that leaves at least 3 days out, and then we can have even more than that if we think we could make it back in the same amount of time.
Force March is an existing thing too. I do have Greater Restoration ready.
That shouldn't be much of an issue with the rock.
I think the implication was to Greater Restoration of the Rock.
Oh, that guy. So let's continue exploring this place and try to find any research that I guess I wanted. And I also take my sending stone that goes to Vola and Calamance, and I hand it to Jack and say, once we get some kind of idea of information she might want, then you can message her.
I will. Thank you.
So let's get started.
Sounds good.
Go about searching for anything. First of all, look for books or scrolls that match the runes on the floor where I did that little ritual.
It was on the table.
I'm pretty sure it was on the floor.
The room
on the
was.
floor, but the books and scrolls are on the table.
Yeah.
There was a scroll with that circle on it.
Gotcha. Like because how I'm how I think I heard it was like there are books lining the walls, damn near.
Yeah, this place is a big circular library all over the place.
Yeah. So you wanna okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check. Would anyone like to help him?
Yeah.
I would love to. Actually, I'll make my own investigation check.
I'd like
How-
to assist Lee.
How about we break off in groups of 2? Lee and Ellie, or Kylan, because Kylan is stuck to Lee, and no, the homunculus and Jacked, and Thok and I.
Sounds good.
Okay, that's acceptable. So that means
Instigation.
Lee, Jacked, and Far Traveler, I'm guessing?
I'll do it, Joe, since you and I have the same check, but I have luck.
Yes.
And who is grouped with me?
Your
Homunculus.
homunculus.
Yes, your
Ah.
homunculus can help you in this.
Oh my god!
It is plenty
That's
smart
glorious.
enough.
Dude, that gives him assist with everything.
Hi,
Basically.
welcome to Familiars.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He's got a
Like to
very high-powered familiar.
Would you like to take Magic Initiate? Because it's a pretty good spell for an entire feat.
I'm a little bit more comfortable with magic now, but that doesn't mean that I'm fully,
That was me
valid.
talking to you, Joe, not Far Traveler talking to Thok about feats.
You mean like,
Would you like an
I have
extra
two of
magic
them.
foot?
you mean like
I
these?
have two of them right here.
I don't need a third. Okay, so 15, 16, and 18. Those are pretty good rolls. One
We all
moment.
got 9 on the other side.
I didn't notice that, but yeah.
Ooh, that's a really big roll. You find 8 separate pieces of documentation, books, scrolls, a mix of that seem to pertain to those symbols.
Let's collaborate and make a mixtape.
Okay. So, as you guys bring them together and kind of just go over a general landscape of what these things are, there's some that focus on the what is it called? The planes. One that focuses on, and the one that focuses on the planes is specifically directed towards connecting the planes. There's one on the specific plane that I've already forgotten the name of because I'm bad at planes.
Celestial.
Elysium.
Elysium?
Is this Elysium?
Elysium.
Yes, Elysium. There's one at containing extreme amounts of power. There's one on the eye itself that is about what it is. Forward. There's one on combining magic, high levels of magic into a single rune. One of them is a lot of what seem to be early attempts at the circle, like different artworks and different ideas with a lot of notes along the lines of like, well, what do we need this to counteract this effect or some stuff like that. And then the last two seem to be personal journals. One is Aurora's, and the other, one moment, as I pull up that name. DM buffering. 1 second, guys. Sorry
It
about
is
this.
silent. It has no name.
It has no. Hugo. So yeah, it is Hugo. Hugo Silverbane and Aurora Silverbane, both the two. They seem to be siblings of some sort. As you can kind of determine through the looking of the journal. Looking through the journal.
These are names, and these are things that I was never taught about. Neat. Jack, I feel like this might be your area of expertise. Jack, I feel like this might be your area of expertise.
Sorry, say again. Stuff.
It's all good.
Sorry. I was deep in thought. Sorry, thought. Can you say that again?
Oh yeah, sure. So all this journals involving planes and people like Aurora, you might be able to investigate these things in order to tell us how to, or in order to investigate how to infuse yourself with these celestial powers.
I'll try to remember as best as I can. Do I remember anything about the name Aurora besides it being? I think I remember my grandfather had a locket. It had Aurora, or he mentioned Aurora as he was holding the locket. That's about all I remember on that.
Correct. He was holding a locket once and said the name, and then immediately changed the subject while you were quite young. It was in his journal. When you were kind of flipping through it, that name stood out quite a bit. At first it was kind of like she looks this way and she's acting this way, and a lot of times there was a lot of I can't believe it, she's so pompous and arrogant, and then other times it was she's so smart, I can't believe she's figuring this out, and all that other stuff. And then it slowly changes to just side notes of it's all really good stuff, oh my gosh, she's great, she makes this whole experience worthwhile even though if we didn't get this to work, that type of thing.
Good deal. And I'll kind of regale that to the party that's what I was seeing, but that's about it.
Oh, she was also the one in your vision. She seemed to be the one that was in the middle of the circle, even though that looked like Agatha. You saw on your grandfather's on his lips, you understood without hearing type of thing, him say Aurora shortly before the vision ended.
Snap.
Do you think you would want to message Agatha about this?
It is definitely something. Let's see if we can find a little bit more so we won't bother them so often.
Okay. Anything else you guys are kind of looking for here?
I want to keep my eye out for any mention of artifacts. Specifically how to empower artifacts.
Artifacts. Okay. That would be a separate investigation check. Thought you had things you wanted to do. I want to guess check magic, see if there is anything magical. Check if any books are written in Orcish or Abyssal. So your detect magic, this whole place, especially around the eye, is brimming with magic. It's hard to discern separate things. However, you sense two magical objects that seem to be hidden away, not hidden, but placed away in the shelvings.
Okay. So if there's a ladder or anything that would swivel around so I could climb up and reach in for the strong magical things I would like to do that.
So the way this place is, and I'll remind you because we did go over it, is there's this large spiral. It's not really a staircase, and it goes around the outside rim of the whole tower. It's not much of a staircase as much of a walkway with every once in a while there'll be a step depending on architectural needs, and every bit of the wall that follows this spiraling walkway is bookshelf.
Okay.
So
got it.
you just have to keep walking around.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I would like to go and pick up any of the strong magical objects that I would sense.
Okay. Give me one moment on those.
Okay.
City states as it seems recall I've seen time related to those. Okay. That would be another investigation check for
Is this-
our traveler.
Is this when Thok is looking for books with orcish epistles, so when he's helping or not?
If you guys like to look together, you can do that.
So if
Oh.
he tells me what I'm looking for him, and I'll be looking for myself, and of course, obviously, the primary objective is looking for stuff for Jack
Okay, you can help each other.
and Antoine.
Nice.
Sweet.
I will get to that in just one moment. um,
I'm guessing my 8 doesn't find anything interesting.
correct. You go around, and yeah, maybe if you looked a little better. You didn't really make it up the steps or the pathway. It was a long way up.
And you haven't even had any coffee yet.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a long day so
Oh.
far.
I forgot. Mm.
Just kind of slump and go, how to get coffee.
I know how you can get coffee. Do you audibly complain about it?
I've been audibly complaining about it for the past 24 hours. I don't know, or actually, it's 48
Okay.
hours at this point.
All right. So I would like to walk up to Lee as she's kind of like going, oh, and I am going to walk up to her and be all like, rub my hands together, and be all like, all right, you want something? You want some coffee?
I lean away from Thok. What are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna do something, and you're gonna feel a lot better afterwards.
I form the great sword in my hand.
I kind of like back off a little bit, and I'm like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. And I cast haste on Lee.
Okay.
I
You get hasted so you feel exhilarated and like you can keep going.
great.
If you
now
wish.
I can have a headache at super speed.
But
If
don't
you
feel
wish,
so
I will allow you to roll at advantage.
Oh, to look?
Yep, because you feel exhilarated based on my flavor text of why you didn't finish.
Sweet. Here's a 13.
Remind me of what you were looking for again.
I was looking for books pertaining to artifacts and the empowering thereof.
Okay. Yeah, sadly, you don't find anything in that case. So, Thok, you find two things. The two magical items. One is a bag. It's a very nice bag, and you open it up, and you look inside, and it's empty. But at the same time, there's no bottom.
So I'm like, what? And I like reach my hand inside.
It just goes all the way in.
It's
Oh my
battered
God,
about
it ate
and
my
you're
arm.
eaten instantly.
Oh, traveler, get it off, get it off, get it off, get it off. Oh my God, get it off.
It's actually a mimic.
Take your hand out of it.
I have no hand left. It ate it. Oh my God.
Look, bend at the elbow.
Uh-huh.
Bend your arm at the elbow.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's as simple as it requires.
It's still in the bag. It ate it. And then I like kind of pull it out a little bit. I'm like, oh. Oh, that's cool. I think you should handle this. I'm not really. I don't know if I'm safe around it.
Okay. I will take the bag away from Thok.
Okay.
What
For-
color is the bag?
It's blue with yellows. A very simple design. on the outside. For future reference, this is a regular bag of holding. And
Okay.
the other item you find, Thok, is a rod. It's about 2 feet in length, inch in diameter, and it's a black rod with white marbled veins running through it.
Okay. And I'm like, huh? Is there anything? Is there any button per se on this rod?
No.
Okay, got it. So, I mean, I can't. I don't know what to do with this. So you can have this too, Far Traveler.
What kind of magic is this?
Oh yes. Can I use my action to identify what magic it is?
Yeah, sure.
Conjuration?
Buffing. Buffing is
So abjuration.
abjuration.
Abjuration or
Abjuration.
transmutation, depending on which sort of buff it usually is.
Abjuration, probably.
Okay.
Maybe enchantment. Is that one? Or did they not?
Enchantment's not usually for buffing. Enchantment's usually for mind influence.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Enchanting.
Like charmed.
Yeah, okay. Then definitely abjuration.
Well, we'll look at it later.
Okay. Far Traveler. For your search, you find...
Don't forget that Thok's looking for orchestral abyssal books also as part of this.
Right, but your role pertains mostly to what you're looking for, and then secondary to his. So, but
Well,
at this,
primarily Jacked, as I mentioned, is what we're looking for.
that's true. However, in this case, I have something special. You find a tome that is about 3 feet tall and 2 feet wide, and about a foot thick.
Tome.
And this tome is on the creation and maintenance of the floating islands.
Think somebody was compensating for something?
It's very detailed and includes a large amount of planar magic, as well as magic used, sustainability magic, and there's many notes and runes runes marked into it. Going through this is not a small feat. However, it seems to be the study guide, as it were, for those who would be in charge of creating and maintaining the islands.
Hey, Thok, give me a hand with this book. Let's take it down to the table.
Oh, okay. Is this intended to be a weapon or anything?
I think we could kill some very large bugs with this.
Cool. If I ever find any, then I'll smash it with the book.
I snicker internally, thinking of some very large bugs.
Spitters. Along with your looking around, you do find let's see. You find 4 books, 2 in Orcish, 2 in Abyssal.
I will give those over to Thok as I find them.
Okay.
All right. I can actually read these things.
Thok can read?
I mean, yeah, I can read. I'm a noble, for God's sake.
Wait, can you not read in common?
I can read in common. It's just grammar is fucking hard, you know?
Amen to that.
So the 2 Orcish books are about different war strategies. Fairly
Orcish?
intelligent. Yeah, the Orcish ones. There's 2 Orcish, 2 Abyssal. The 2 Orcish ones, they're separate authors, but both of them are about different battle strategies, and there is actually sections in both that overlap, as in the 2 leaders or writers, authors of these books, seem to have fought.
Okay, does it mention wars that they fought in specifically?
There are mentions of a war between 2 capital cities called Tentera and Goldium. Other than that, not specifically. That's the only real journal entries. Most of it is war tactics and talking about how other people use war tactics.
Okay.
Uh,
Can I roll history to see if I remember any of that stuff?
sure.
Okay. See if I caught it at all.
Excuse me.
Okay, history.
You have no idea.
Well, the places I think. I don't know. What do the abyssal ones say?
The abyssal ones are. One second. One is about the different demons and demon lords that roam the abyss. A collection of those. A fiendifolio, if you would. And the other is specifically on the different known areas of the abyss. As it is an infinite zone, it's hard to map it, but there are some areas that are a little more controlled, and that's what these discuss.
Cool. Does it talk about the Fomet in there anywhere?
Yes, it does.
Cool. And I'll inquire about that later if that's okay.
That's fine. Okay, did anyone else have anything they'd like to look up?
Yes, sir.
Search focus on empowering a spell beyond its usual capabilities. Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Big money, no whammies.
Luckily for you, that is a large portion of this library. You can find pretty much any like classification of magic, something that natural power people would use, something that the arcane users would use, the innate users, the divine users, pretty much anything you want.
Then I will make a more specific search if it's that easy to find.
Okay.
I
What are
want
you
to
looking
find
for?
a way to empower the spell Awaken.
Okay. The closest thing you can find is a more general template for druidic spells. Or natural spells.
Awesome.
Oh my god, that'd be dope.
Okay, anything else you guys would like to know or look for?
In reference to the giant eye, I would like to look at something like that, see what exactly it is.
Okay, a more specific search for that. Go ahead and make another investigation check. Oh yeah, you had someone helping you at all times. I was like, how'd you get advantage? I remembered. Yes,
You gave it to him, you monster.
I did. Near the top of the tower, there is a small bookcase that's just kind of slightly apart from the rest. And this bookcase is explicitly used for the study of the eye.
I will look through a couple of the tomes and see if I can learn anything real quick.
Okay. It's also worth noting that this area has a little alcove that is parallel to the eye. So when you step out to it, you are almost at the eye itself. It's not very far off the staircase and kind of hard to notice unless you're up there. But there seems to be, and there's a small like lectern where if someone could read a book or write on a book while studying.
I'll take a tome out there and open it on that lectern and look at the eye and then kind of jokingly ask the homunculus, like, "Yeah, do you know anything about this?"
The homunculus just kind of pops down on the book, flips through the pages real quick, almost like a kid trying to get to the end, and then just stops on a certain page and gestures toward it.
I will read the page.
Okay, the page says that the eye, while unknown in its exact origin, seems to be some sort of power from an extra plane, like an outsider plane, that was brought here as a focus of some sort of, not necessarily stealing the eye, like Orcus's eye is technically off his body, but something more along the lines of a direct connection so that that being can look through it. The power is only akin to something of a deitic power. It's hard to say exactly what.
Do we know which deity it would be? Excuse me.
Could you repeat that, please?
Do we know what deity the eye would be connected to?
The book is non-specific. It seems to have any sort of identifying factors about it stripped away and hidden. And that's something that they were not able to determine. At least not in this book.
Is there anything of interest in any of the other books in that small bookcase?
Everything is very fascinating. There's a variety of handwritings, including your grandfather's. They all seemed, of the people here that were here, seemed to be invested in what the eye was. If you were to find the time to study every book, you would probably have a pretty decent understanding of how they were siphoning power from the eye, how much power the eye has been observed to exude, a variety of things like that. A lot of it is journal entries. Like, it seems they were taking a good amount of observation, and the handwriting is of I have already forgotten his name, and I said it. Second. I do this to myself. I think of a name, I say it, and then I don't write it down fast enough.
Is that
Hugo?
Hugo, yes, thank you. Yeah, it seems most of it is in Hugo's handwriting.
And does the name Hugo ring a bell?
Not really, no. You could try a history check, but it doesn't mean that it will come up with anything.
What I've found a passage, you said something about siphoning energy. Would there be any way, any passage I read about using that stored energy as a focus or something?
Yeah, so one of the books, it seems to be in your grandfather's handwriting, talks a lot about drawing power directly from the eye to cast spells. He never said anything about being able to contain it. And in another book, there was some reference to channeling it through runes, but only for a short period of time.
All right. And that's about all I got for right now.
Okay.
Do you have enough that you're ready to ask questions?
I'll go down and meet with you guys down at that large table and see what we got. I'm try and compile all of our findings.
Come on, one of these has to be a spell tome of conjuration. There has to be a way to make coffee.
I mean, if you want, you can look for it.
No, I'm not.
Tea, Earl Grey, and hot.
I made you, like, I used magic to make you feel energetic. Didn't that do anything?
As soon as the spell wears off, like, you feel 10 times worse.
I know.
It gave me a hangover.
But you felt good.
Oh my goodness, Doc. Not everything in life is about feeling good.
Sometimes you tell everybody you're okay, but you're not.
Okay.
Sometimes
Uh,
you just need coffee.
Meeting the rest of the group at the table and compiling what we have found. I'd like to ask the
Okay.
group if we're ready to make our call. Excuse me. Are we ready to make the call?
I'm
What
ready.
call?
All right. We'll use the sending stone to get a hold of.
So the way it works is that you can send a message over there, and how long does it have to be?
25 words or less, I'm pretty sure.
25 words or less. Okay.
25 and 24.
So
Yeah.
I would choose those 25 words carefully before you say them, and they can reply with 25 words or less. And it'll take another day for it to be able to send back again.
Okay. Is there anything specific that anybody would like to add?
Find out about the Aurora Agatha situation.
Okay. We will say, Agatha, stop. Found
Maybe-
Obsidian Tower. Stop.
Don't say stop.
Just type it out. Can you guys see me?
No, not anymore. I did a moment ago, though.
Only a moment ago.
Internet is. Well, I can hear you though, so that's.
That's fine for now. So, I am missing 2 of the documents that I mentioned. I have Planar Magic, Plane of, was it Celestial Plane? I don't remember anymore. The Power of the Eye, and Containing Intense Power. What were the other 2? Does anyone write these down faster than I can? Slesium. Thank you. I feel like that's wrong, but whatever.
I don't know. It's your thing.
It is my thing, and I said it, and then I had to keep going, so I didn't have a chance to write it.
Which books are you like? The ones
Of
that Jack found, or the
the-
ones that everybody found, or
the group found the 8 books.
this is what I documented the one I found as.
I didn't find anything.
That's okay. I'll remember. Elise. That's the one.
Let's see. So I've got, so far, let's see. Got 15 words, and that is found the Obsidian Tower. Who is Aurora? How do we use the eye? Does anybody else want to add anything?
You might want to add something about your own bloodline and
Uh-oh.
ask where to find the books that Agatha wants.
Okay, let's see.
You guys see me now?
Nope.
Ah, fuck. Okay, well, I mean, I can see myself on the screen. So
I think that is 25, Devonmere, exactly, unless I'm dyslexic.
I am.
Twenty-four, 25, somewhere there.
I come to 25. So it's good enough.
I want to switch use to empower.
Okay. We'll say that.
Or infuse. I don't know. What's the better word?
Empower is good.
Strikeout use, carrot empower.
Okay.
Can we spare a word and say empower with the eye, not empower the eye?
Empower my bloodline.
Yeah,
You're replacing
Yeah,
the first
gotcha.
use.
gotcha.
Okay. How long do you have? How long do they have until they can return the message?
I
Did you
think
say
Thok was the authority on that one.
talk?
What was that?
How long?
It is a sending stone. So I don't think they have a response time. They can just send a message back once a day.
Yeah.
A message can go
Oh.
either way once a day.
Okay. So it takes quite a while actually for a response. Multiple hours. Is there anything people would like to do during that time?
I would like to take a short rest and identify the rod.
Take a short rest and attune to my new necklace.
Oh, snap. How
I
about
would
that?
like to read over the book and see if I can analyze any really, really sticking out stuff about the floating cities themselves.
I'll take my journal back up to the lectern near the top and try and glean any information from that.
Okay.
I
So
will look for books on coffee.
there are no books on that. Sadly, they just ordered out.
They sent the intern.
Yes. Starting from
Happens.
How long have we been in the Obsidian Tower?
a few hours by now.
We've got the timepiece thing, so we don't actually need to step outside to see.
Yeah. The amount of time you spend in the tower just looking for things, looking through things, getting some understanding before you can take like an actual rest and do what you're doing now. It's been about 3 hours. There's a lot to go through whenever you do a search. So starting from Thok and working our way down to Far Traveler, as that is how you guys are lined up. The rod is a rod of the Pact Keeper, +2.
Oh,
That's garbage. You should flush it in the toilet and definitely not give it to the party's only warlock.
oh. I'm
Um,
so glad that I don't have my camera up.
I take the rod, and as soon as I know what it is, I'm just like, yeah, I gotta use this. And I'm like, Lee, take it.
What is it? Is it coffee?
It's a rod of the Pact Keeper,
+2.
+2.
That sounds relevant to me. Do you know what it does?
Give me a sec.
yeah, he knows. As soon as I can pull the book back up, I have it on that page. While you're holding this rod, you gain a bonus to spell attack rolls and to saving throw DCs of your warlock spells. The bonus is determined by the rod's rarity. In addition, you can regain one warlock spell slot as an action while holding the rod. You can't use this property again until you finish a long rest.
Damn. It does that. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I think you'll enjoy it.
It empowers my magic a pretty good amount.
Cool.
Does anybody have any duct tape?
I have no idea what that is.
I'm just gonna any.
I have rope.
I don't necessarily want rope. That won't look cool. Do we have like leather or like some cloth bands? I just want to tie this to my sword.
I have leather straps.
I don't want to know.
They're little leather straps. God, we.
Golly.
Listen, my husband's been dead for a while. Okay, you gotta adventure out a little bit.
Not helping yourself out. Can I take another short rest?
Yeah, for sure.
I want to attune to that.
Okay, as long as you have enough attunement slots.
That's my second item.
Okay. Kylan, I already told you what you found. Absolutely nothing. Jet. You go up to the lectern and kind of go through the books, correct?
Correct.
For the eye.
Okay, legitimately, I will help Jack if that's gonna do anything.
Okay, you can spend the time working with Jack a little bit. It's not really in the area of your expertise. You're more used to natural magic, nature magic, but there is some that you could definitely the essence is there, so you can kind of help out. So a lot of these books, like I said, are journal entries of what's going on with the eye. And for the most part, it's a lot of today nothing happened. However, there are days where it talks about the eye is moving a lot. And there's no prompt for it. Suddenly, it just seems to be looking around quite a bit, like it's trying to find something. Other times there are entries on today we casted a spell of some sort, starting with the very basic like benefit spells instead of like aggressively attacking the eye or anything. And it responded by releasing some energy in a kind of like a field around it that was like tingly, and you could feel it like electromagnetic energies. And that grew as time went on. The amount of power they put into the eye was reflected pretty evenly, but there was something about the energy that was even more potent. So it wasn't a completely equivalent exchange. There was something very different about the energy that came out of the eye versus what they put into the eye. There was talk of different contraptions being put up to try to collect the energy. Magic absorbing stones that have been infused with that ability to do so. But most of them broke at first. Slowly they got a little bit better at containing them, but nothing that they couldn't do themselves. Nothing extra was being done or being stored, whatever this extra exchange was. As the books go on, the details in this become more and more. And as you kind of look around the top, you see it's very difficult, but you kind of know where to look for them now, is little places in the wall where things were once attached. Various holding mechanisms and the like. This goes on until they are successfully able to contain a huge amount of the power released by the eye. After that, the journal entries stop. As for your grandfather specifically, he was very interested in channeling this power, and you're pretty sure that after a while he explicitly used the eye's power for magic only. And instead of putting energy in and bringing it back to himself or anything like that, he actually was able to connect via a simple mechanism, a golden laced glove infused with some magic, where he could draw upon the eye directly and then use it to cast magic.
We don't happen to find that thing anywhere, do we?
No, it doesn't
Alright.
seem to be anywhere nearby.
An infinity gauntlet would be pretty awesome. Nice. So while I'm going through this, and where is the eye looking? Like, have we seen it look anywhere else, or what's it doing?
The eye spends most of its time almost with a blank, empty stare. Every once in a while, it'll twitch around and look at everyone. It'll linger a little bit more on you, but then it just kind of goes back to staring blankly.
Maduna? We'll try and cast just a very, you know what? I don't know if we want to go balls to the wall, but kind of recalling that, you know, my true texts about homunculus, they are telepathic, correct?
Correct.
I will try to establish a telepathic link with him.
Okay. You get a sense of understanding. There's not really a return in thought, but like it knows you're talking to it.
Okay. Nothing from that. Well, I guess I'll try and cast just a spell at the eye, and we'll just do light for right now, because that is not offensive.
Okay. So you do a very basic light, and the eye seems to start to glow at first. Then it seems to absorb the light, and then you don't see anything, but you feel like something is passing through you. It's almost hard to tell, but you can feel the hair standing on end on your arms.
Do I feel it as well since I'm in this area?
Correct, you do. You feel it as well.
Interesting.
Is the eye within range to touch?
Yeah.
I will cast a first level Cure Wounds on the eye.
Okay. As you cast it, the eye shimmers with this light energy as before. Not light itself, but like white energy. And then it absorbs it, and then you feel a little bit more energy coming back out of it, more than the light did. Nothing much, but it definitely almost staticky in the way it feels.
Well, Kevin, we could crank this up a little bit. I could see what a fireball could do.
What if we start with this and I produce flame?
A cantrip, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You want to cast it into it?
I'm looking to eject for confirmation. Maybe we start with this rather than just a fireball.
Go ahead, try it out.
I will cast it into the eye.
Okay. The flame enters, and the reddish energy from the magic kind of enters the eye, and then something very similar to light comes out.
Interesting.
I will step into the alcove and hide behind the lectern and get eject on to throw a fireball.
Maybe not quite the best idea. You said we can see like the places where it looks like some mechanisms were there to hold energy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, can we discern about what size and shape they were?
By the notes written, a lot of them, it started out small, softball or baseball size, softball size, and it gets bigger. It goes to like soccer ball. Eventually, they end up with like I don't know. The best thing that comes to mind is like a full size computer case, one of those big ones.
And we don't see anything like that just laying around.
Mm.
Okay. Well,
You know, we haven't really gone to the higher level. As I think about where the eye is on the obsidian tower.
I
Maybe
was
we
under
should.
the
Maybe
I
we
was
should.
under the impression we were like right level with it.
You are.
We're level with the eye, but there's more obsidian tower to go.
Yeah, it's about halfway up,
Oh, okay.
centered. The little bookshelf is sectioned off, and then it continues past. Then it continues up.
All right, we'll keep going.
Okay. Anything you're looking for up there?
Just anything that piques interest in relation to what we were reading.
Okay. As you make your way up, you find a little bit more things on the wall that indicate where something would be. However, nothing is in their place. Once you get near the top, you find one object attached to the wall via dark, like obsidian being molded around this object that is a deep, very deep, almost black blue. It's very hard to see without looking for it.
Does it seem to be empowered or charged up in any way because of the spells we were casting on the eye?
No.
Is it like embedded into the wall in any way, or?
It seems to almost be ingrained. Like, the material used to hold it in place came from the wallet behind it and brought it in to it.
Are there more books up here?
There are a few. Far Traveler actually got one of the only ones that was up here.
Okay.
Well, I suppose we could just wait for the message.
I'll place a hand on the magical thing, stone or whatever it is, and cast a produce flame.
Okay, it heats up. The flame kind of disperses off your hand, but nothing seems to happen.
Okay. How high up are we?
500 feet. It's huge. It's a very tall tower.
Dang. Yeah, I think we can just wait for to hear back, see if there's anything more we can do.
I agree. Let's return to the table.
Okay. Yeah.
It's 502 feet 4 inches, based off my spit.
It's it's pretty similar to a building that is 50 stories tall.
Fuck.
Okay, so you guys head back down.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I will say one thing you find up at the very top is a very interesting thing. There is no railing at the very top.
Really?
Was there railing toward lower down?
Yeah, there was mostly railing, and now there's not.
Well, fuck.
Getting close to the edge, is there any sort of like invisible barrier, or is it like you will fall?
You will fall.
Oh god damn.
So I'm gonna leap.
Okay. You jump off, and you feel this thing kind of guiding you down gently.
That was a leap of faith. So I could have just wild shaped and everything would have been okay.
Hmm. That's why I figured you did it. If you didn't have that, I'd be like, what the fuck?
You idiot!
I see. That's where if I was feeling real dickish. It would be an anti-magic zone completely in the center. Okay, greater. Whole new character, please.
No. This seems to be some sort of way of getting back down quickly. Well, not quickly, but way more efficiently than walking all the way around.
Okay.
Uh, being kind of sheepish, I will put one foot out and then hesitate, and then just kind of walk out.
You take your step, and you start to float down.
It's terrifying.
Okay. So I see them do this, and I'm like, oh my god, they're falling, and then they're like just gently floating down. I'm like, whoa, that looks really fun. And he just starts sprinting up the stairs. So how many of these loops are there up the tower?
Okay, every loop rises about about 10 feet, so
Oh my god.
50 loops, yeah.
Okay, 50. All right. And how what's the how far across is it, the tower?
The tower,
Yeah.
it's about 50 feet as well.
Okay.
So sprinting up, you take a level of exhaustion.
I I am running like 4,000 feet. That is like 3/4 of a mile.
Your constitution and saving throws are better than most people's in the party, so you should probably be fine.
Yeah, running a
Fuck yeah,
mile
dude.
is not that bad. I mean,
I'm
uphill in
full
a spiral sucks, but you're
You're
fine.
full play.
I'm fucking going for it.
You make it up there. It takes your breath for a little bit.
I lay on hands myself a little bit just to make myself feel better.
Hmm.
And I'm just gonna fucking I'm gonna run off the edge and be like, woohoo, cannonball.
Are you wearing your anti-magic amulet?
I am.
I was wearing mine. I was wearing mine for what it's worth.
I forgot you had one.
Oh balls!
You're fine.
Okay. Fuck me. Thok thinks about that as he's jumping off. He's like, wait a minute. Oh fuck. Oh, okay, it's good. Alright, anyway. Yeah.
It's divine magic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
If I had like those staples, that'd be bad.
Perhaps.
So
Oh,
instead of making
my-
a hearty splat on the ground, it just sort of goes.
yeah. So my amulet actually was turned into the homunculus. It's got the eye on its belly. So
Uh-huh.
Okay. So sorry.
Oh, it would only take 2 levels in Wizard to literally be able to conjure coffee whenever I want.
Only 2 levels in Wizard.
This is
It's a
definitely
pretty small
worthwhile.
investment considering you get the spell book and ritual casting.
Yeah.
Definitely worth the investment. Uh,
Well,
yes.
you get find familiar out of it, so that's not that bad.
And I could use my Warlock spell slots to cast up to 5th level Wizard spells.
Then
As
you could cast first level wizard spells as fifth level spells, not 5th level wizard spells.
I'd have to double check.
I don't
I
know
think
that
you
works.
might be right. I might not be able to learn 5th level Wizard spells.
Well, you can learn them, but you can't cast them. Because wizards learn what's in their book, but that doesn't mean that you have the ability to do it.
Right. Thok, you take your step off and you're super excited and you start to fall slowly down, and then about a minute passes and the excitement kind of wears off, and now you're kind of bored, and
Yeah.
eventually you land on the ground with Jack and Kylan, who had landed quite a while ago as you had to run up the stairs.
It's like everybody's first time skydiving. It gets boring after a minute there.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else from you guys? What would you like to do? Far
I
traveler.
mean, if there's a lot of extra time that we're waiting around, I'm gonna continue to look for stuff on Empowering Awaken.
Okay.
See
So
if there's just anything more, but yeah, that's all I'm really preoccupied with.
okay, Far Traveler, you look through your book, and it spends a great deal of the first half of the book describing plans, what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, what they're going to do to power it, and what they end up deciding upon is taking natural elements from the planet of Earth for the materials, which will be encrusted with all these gems, and these gems will be able to reflect power very easily through the island. And all they need is a central system that can take power in some way. In their first rudimentary attempt, it was sort of like a coal furnace in a way that you had to keep feeding the internal machine. They used different magically infused stones, so they had to be mages almost at all times. It didn't take a lot of magic, as there was a lot of gems in the islands to power. But it did take someone about twice a day to cast upwards of a 5th level spell in order to power this up. It does go on to talk about improvements, more islands, and eventually they get to a system where it is pretty self-sustained, with only need for some maintenance and a lot more fail-safes, which is typically more of those cores. Okay. So a little while goes by. Everyone can spend some time researching, attuning, whatever they'd like to do, resting. And a message returns about 3 hours after it was sent.
I excitedly pick up the stone and read the text message or voice message.
Okay. The message is from Calamance. It goes something along the lines of,
Let's not go with something along the lines of, let's get the actual message.
okay. Agatha screamed Aurora, then passed out.
Oh no.
Is that it?
No, there's more. I just was seeing what our traveler is writing. She is fine, but resting. Let me double check what message you guys sent so I can make sure I answer all the questions. Hopefully she will wake soon, and we can answer the rest of your questions tomorrow.
Well, guys, I got bad news. There is no good news. It's just bad news, so I'm just going to tell you. Apparently, the emotional distress of the name Aurora has caused Agatha to pass out. She's okay, but won't be up and at him until tomorrow.
Fuck.
That is right. Fuck.
Other news. What did you guys find out?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I will enlighten the party on what we found as far as what we now know about the eye, that it was connected to a different plane, and nobody knows exactly where it came from. Also, they were collecting energy with these large focusing tablets almost that are now no longer there.
All but one at the top.
Correct, all but one at the top.
How do we exit the Obsidian Tower?
The front door. It's the only door. There is 5 beds.
Well, do we want to stay here for the night and wait for...
Bedding and stuff had decayed with time, according to the last description.
It's true, but there are 5 bed frames.
Put my bedroll on top of it.
Well, Kylan, you can go and cast your spell on your bird and come back here. We can...
Don't know about the
rest
whole
and
coming
await a
back.
message.
Remember how we got here was something special?
What?
Jack spoke words and something I don't know, and that's how we got in. So if I leave, I'm afraid I may not
Well,
come back.
the tower opened up. It rose.
I'm
Hold
just saying, I ain't been out there again.
Jack,
we
go
don't-
ahead and go with her. Make sure that she can make her way back inside.
I mean, if we don't see her in 3 or 4 hours, we can go get her.
Jack, go with her. She goes back inside.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, do you guys head off to cast your spells on the bird?
Yes.
I feel like it's not necessary, but I'll go with them.
Okay.
Could be necessary.
I guess it's Doc and I chilling out in here.
Sounds good.
Okay, you guys head off. If there's anything you wish to speak about, you can do so now, or we can just say you guys make it, cast the spells, and you can head back.
Oh, and keep tabs on how the rock's doing.
It seems to be doing okay.
Give it some loves.
At this time, it's pretty late in the night, or evening. It's becoming night as the sun is dipping over the horizon.
And I will, I'll also give it a good berry, just in case. And then be ready to head back.
Okay. It had its good berry earlier, but it's quite large and it eats it up still. It doesn't know any better anyways, and hop off. Okay. So while they're out, Lee and Thox, anything you want to discuss? I'll take the
So,
silence as oh, go ahead.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what keeps you motivated?
That's a question. To do what?
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
What's your goal? Well, like, what are your aspirations? What do you want to do with your life?
Well, at this point, I'm not entirely sure, I guess. Like, my big thing for a while now has been getting back control of my life, and I hadn't thought in a while what I would do once I had that control. I'm doing okay with the bounty hunter thing.
Bounty hunter thing?
Yeah, that's where Kelman's hired me from.
Oh, that's true. You were an infiltration expert for me, correct? And I very much appreciate you saving my life.
Right. Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah. So where'd you come from?
Uh, a very dark place.
Okay. I won't inquire too much if you don't want to talk.
As
It's a long, long time ago.
Okay.
as you guys kind of get into a little bit of talking there, the rest of the group does return without any issues. The tower is still there, and the door is open for you, or opens for you.
Was there any issues getting inside, Kellen?
Doesn't seem like it.
Okay, cool.
I just feel like there's some power in this world that really would love to just fuck me over somehow.
Well, it's not any of us.
I believe that would be the Templars.
Yeah, they're not so keen on any magic user. They're probably not so keen on us either.
Well, I mean, when you consider the wanted posters.
Yeah.
Especially because yours is the only one that offered alive as a solution.
No, it didn't offer alive or dead. It's the only one that didn't offer dead as the solution. They would take you guys alive.
Over my dead body.
Huh.
He'll kill us before they have a chance to take us alive.
Oh my god.
So I guess Far Traveler isn't going unless he's dead, but... Okay. You guys settle in for the night. Is anyone else perusing into their books more? Or any of the 8 documents found, or looking for more things?
While laying in bed, I'll just look through my journal and see if I can find anything on a gauntlet or a glove or whatever it was.
Okay. As you kind of thumb through the journal, you find notes about harnessing energy from the eye to cast the magic, and you kind of skimming over the greater details, the more in-depth things, just to kind of get a general overview. You do end up with his designs for a final product, which he says the prototype is a amazing success. However, it never goes into detail about him making any secondary versions or more of them.
Cool. Would the materials be in the tower?
The materials required seem to be along the lines of 50 gold worth of gold. So 50 gold. And being able to shape the obsidian tower around it itself, using the tower to create a fabric. Something that's typically, well, it's in the transmutation domain, not easy to do, as it is changing a mineral into a natural fiber or something very close to.
Hmm. So kind of reading that and noticing just a black shining spot next to the bed and looking at my hand, I'll try and use that tattoo that I had to bust off a piece and break it down and form it into some sort of usable fabric or fiber.
Okay, go ahead and do an intelligence check. Charisma check, actually. This would not be an advantage.
He could have it at advantage if he chooses to use any option before you say anything.
Initially not advantage, but you may use a luck point to get it.
Yeah, sure.
Or
Okay.
types chaos or whatever.
Oh, that's true. You can use
Well,
you can use
yeah,
Tides of Chaos.
I could do Tides of Chaos to, that's right, to get that advantage, and then I could do luck just to roll another one just to see.
Okay, go ahead.
Because reasons.
Okay, so 16, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay. You use the tattoo, and you haven't really had much of a chance to use this tattoo. But and it's mostly used as an intelligence-based object. Seeing as your magic comes from your innate ability, your charisma, you typically it's at first an instinct. It doesn't mesh well, but you are able to push yourself, especially with a little bit of luck and chaos, push yourself into connecting with it properly. And in doing so, you are able to form the obsidian a little bit. It's not an easy material to work with, beyond the fact that what you're trying to do is very difficult. But you're able to change some of it into a softer material, but nothing like it's not in like glove shape or anything. It's more of just straight, like if you pick cotton straight from the plant type of thing.
Well, upon doing that and being very tired, I kind of smile and know what I'm going to do tomorrow. So I will pack it in then.
Okay.
I'm going to start working with my template for empowering druidic spells. Just getting more familiar with it with cantrips.
Okay. Do your wisdom based. Go ahead and do a wisdom check. Okay. You're able to force through great strain and preparation. You're able to force a couple of spells to extend their duration, if it's a duration-based spell. A couple of minutes, as well as being able to strengthen your aggressive attack spells, like Produce Flame deals an extra proficiency to damage.
With Druidcraft, can I create a bigger plant than just like a seedling?
Yes, you're able to force a seed to grow a little bit bigger than usual. Doing this, however, like I said, it does put quite a bit of strain on you. Nothing you can't handle unless it's something a little like more often. And it does take quite a bit of extra preparation to create the correct materials, to use runes. There's a lot of rune carving in this, which you have some knowledge of, and you're able to like craft on like a staff or some leather. You're able to inscribe some runes. However, doing so takes time and effort as well.
Cool.
Anyone else before you guys settle in for the night?
Falk would like to run up the staircase again, or not necessarily run, but kind of like do a steady jog. This time with the intent of jumping down and kind of doing a divine sense on the way down. Like every maybe 100 or so feet, do a divine sense just to see if there are any celestials.
I bet there's a celestial.
I bet there is too, but just checking to see if there's anything else. Celestial fiends are undead.
Okay. As you do that, the eye definitely shows a celestial, as some celestial being, as anticipated. And when you land, you do your last one, just seeing if there's anything else, and something almost as if it wasn't actually told from this scent points you in towards Jack, and then just like, no, that's nothing. It just goes over.
Do you feel a little bit more angelic than you did before?
You gotta roll over in bed. Like, what do you mean?
I mean, like,
He's hitting on you.
I know. Are you?
Did you fall from heaven? Because you're an angel.
oh no! If I were trying to hit on you, then it would be less subtle.
Oh, yeah. Would you?
I mean,
Would you offer
we
your
know
body
this.
in exchange for items?
I mean, I already did, but I'm not really
Wait.
into dudes, so
this rod you gave me, there's no strings attached, right?
That's part 1 of 2 on rods.
Doc kind of goes red a little bit. Is like, shut up.
What did you think he meant by +2?
That's not the bonus. That's the amount of people that need to be using it.
But
It's the amount of
anyway,
rods involved.
Yeah.
if it's I don't know. When I did my paladin thing of kind of searching if there are any good and bad shit anywhere, I kind of noticed that you had something weird about you. But what, I don't know. Not really surprising, I guess. But also, definitely the eye is celestial.
Oh my god.
All right, let's go to sleep.
Okay.
Do we want to have a watch tonight, or does it matter?
I think the eye is watching us.
The giant floating eye. I think has got it.
Should we have a watch? Yes. I don't care the scenario.
I'm at first watch.
I'll take the second half.
I was gonna guess normal watch patterns. Lee takes the first half.
Yeah, I'll
Ellen
take
takes the
first
second half. Far Travelers first, then Jacked, then Flock.
Okay.
No objection.
Okay. The night goes mostly uneventfully. It's a little hard at first to get to sleep when there's this giant eye watching over you. But the feeling passes of the feeling of being watched by this figure, and you do feel tired from your journey, and you close your eyes and you are able to rest. And morning comes.
And so have I.
And so have you all. Lee, you are no longer exhausted from haste.
Oh, good.
However, there's still no coffee. Everyone's waking up. Kylan is already up and about doing her own thing.
Jack.
So,
Yo,
So-
Jet.
If Agatha is your grandma, then odds are, like, her and your grandpa did it with this eye watching.
In that bed you're sleeping in.
I mean, possibly.
you jump out of bed very quickly and look up at the eye and just kind of have a weird, sick feeling. Thanks for that talk.
You're welcome.
Don't even ask what they did with the homunculus.
Oh no.
It slept on my chest.
Yes. Okay. So I accidentally sent that a little early, so I will say it now. A message comes in the morning for y'all from the Sending Stones. These are the words that come out of it from Calumet. She claims she is now Aurora. Bring her journal and any notes you find interesting. Willow and I are doing well. Then a slight pause after that. Drums. Got to go. That is all.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's probably not the best thing ever.
At the very least, if we don't need to immediately have a message sent to them today, tell them to go to the halls of the Dwarf King. They should be protected there.
Yeah. And I mean, it can't be that bad. He had enough time to send a message.
Well, I will reply. We are on our way and head to the halls. What were they called again?
At the Dwarf
That's a
King.
good question. Let me
I don't
reference my
remember.
notes.
Oh yeah, the actual name.
Urdim.
Urdim. Urdim.
Mhm.
Tell them to go to the halls of Urdim, and we will meet them there shortly.
Shortly.
As shortly as we can.
Do you have some kind
Few
of way
days.
of teleporting us there?
500 feet at a time.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So I believe if this is the case where we might not be so subtle, should we just take the rock there?
I mean, maybe Gurk will know something about teleportation magic. He seemed to before, correct?
Affirmative.
Did you guys?
Okay.
Did he go with you guys?
No.
I didn't think so.
You wanted a writing desk.
And
Did
then
you
they
do math?
uplifted it.
And then what?
They uplifted it when they left. They were leaving
I'm
when you
not
guys
making
left.
it out. You're
Oh.
distorting your microphone when you say that whatever it is you're saying.
They uplifted it, as in they were planning on leaving, so they picked it up and carried it away with all his stuff and him.
He's probably just sitting at it like one of those attached chair / desks, school desks.
Just sitting at it while
It's
they
litter.
carry it.
Okay. Let's take everything that relevant to the situation, put it in the bag of holding, get on the rock, and let's get the fuck to the village now.
I'm going to try and manipulate the obsidian yet again into
don't-
a glove shape.
Feel like we should leave before we finish our job here.
What else do we have left?
We need to find a way to get Jacked his power. That's what we're here for.
We need to juice him up, man.
Well, let's see if this will do it. I've got an idea. And again, I'll put my hand on the obsidian and try and mold a piece into a glove shape-ish thing.
Okay, charisma check.
Cool. And we'll do Tide's Chaos for advantage on that. Oops, for some reason I didn't do that. I'll do one more. Come on, you bastard. Been a luck. Fucking
Oh my gosh. Does anyone have inspiration?
Inspiration doesn't stack with Tides of Chaos.
Oh, inspiration gives advantage, doesn't replace the die roll. That's what luck does.
yeah,
Correct.
Unless you throw a third one and choose.
Yeah, luck is cool. However, no progress. You didn't even make any of the materials this time. A little startled by the news, you did not connect with that tattoo as well as you had hoped.
I will go set a hand on Jack's shoulder and say, have you tried channeling magic through it?
I have not. We can give that a try.
try putting some raw magic into it.
All right. I suppose we could try again with putting raw magic into it. Raw.
Yeah,
Huh.
just put it in.
Okay, so you put some magic into it, just some like easily controlled energy, and you feel the tattoo hum with the energy and vibrates gently on your hand. It almost kind of tickles, and then it disperses from your hand and separates into naturally forming schools of magic.
I don't know what that means, but continue.
Don't either.
The best way to describe it is the energy inside you is chaos, and raw energy is untamed, unfocused. And it's like putting pure light, through a prism, and it's separating into the colors of all the colors of the spectrum. In this case, it's like focusing this raw energy into a little bit of necrotic, transmutation, divination, all the different schools of magic, and you can kind of tell instinctually what is kind of coming off of it. It's not anything visible unless you like have detect magic going, but it seems to focus the energies. Is the main thing there. Or, yeah.
So, do you want him to make another check, or
You can try again.
No, okay. We will try one more time. Hopefully it's not a dick roll. Fuck you, game.
You still have luck if you wish to use it.
I do have luck. I do also have inspiration, so I'll burn that again. So, inspiration on that. One of these has to be decent. And we'll just try that luck one.
There
Oh,
we
fucking
go.
damn.
before he says anything, would you like to spend sorcery points to bump it up at all?
Just like make it ridiculous.
I will mention, if you don't know the 5e setting, every 5 points is another DC threshold. 20, 25.
I didn't know that. Okay, now I do. Sure, why not? We'll bend some luck. We'll see what happens.
Well, that's
Ooh.
25. Okay. You put your hand down and you focus, and everything just feels natural. And you feel the tower all the way through to the top and back down into you as if you were one being. You feel in the tower the pulsing of these eyes magic, almost keeping it perfectly stable, yet constantly shifting and changing and pulsing with this energy. And you just feel where everything collects, and you form it around your hand, making the perfect obsidian fabric glove. It doesn't have the gold inlaid into it, as your grandfather had done to help channel the energy from the glove to him. That's what the main purpose was. But it is the glove, a pure black glove.
I will then take out the required amount of gold and see if I can meld it to that as well.
Okay. Make another charisma check. Are you using the tattoo?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Make another charisma check.
Oh, it was- okay. We'll go luck. Last luck point. That was almost a 20. I get
So
hovered on it.
close.
Oh,
Son of a bitch.
I will
Okay.
give you my inspiration.
Do one more then.
okay. That will give you the advantage on the initial roll.
Yay!
Okay. You are able to, like, at first you feel like you're just melting the gold in your hand, and you're kind of getting worried that you're destroying it. However, finally it becomes this pool of malleable material that you're able to inlay into the glove, in the way that your grandfather's design had indicated.
All right. Kind of bringing up the glove, in front of me and kind of flexing it around and see how it feels and how it looks. I'm quite proud with myself, and I will go up again to the eye and I'll try and touch it and see if I can channel any energy.
As he's going up, I'm gonna gather up the books and notes and stuff in the bag of holding because I don't imagine he's gonna be instantly up at eye level.
One step ahead of you.
Yeah, everybody's. Yeah, it'll take them a little while to get up there, and yeah, you can gather all the materials pretty quickly. And Jax, you get up to the eye, and you're gonna touch it,
Anybody who's nervous about an explosion might want to be outside when he does this.
or like under the
Hiding
table.
outside.
I will hide behind something.
Okay.
Yep, I
This
will
cave
touch
can
it.
collapse.
Yeah, I will try and touch it and channel as much energy as I can through it. Probably like a 5th level spell slot is energy. See if we
Towards-
can get anything going.
Into it.
If either way, if I feel any sort of like, if I'm drawing energy or I guess I'll have to figure out what happens when I get up there and be close to it.
Okay, as you get close to it, you definitely feel the residual energy, the feeling you felt when you were connected to the tower itself. You feel that, almost as if it's floating around your hand. Little tendrils around, entering the glove itself.
Am I able to focus and see if I can draw any more?
Okay.
And I will just kind of open up my whole being and see if I can absorb just a massive amount.
Okay. Do a charisma save.
Oh! Just blow up.
Nat ones aren't a failure in 5e, just so
I didn't. Yeah, his save is much better.
Yeah, that's a 14.
Okay, if 5s are a thing, I will bend luck and see if we can do that as well. Okay, 15.
All right.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
The dice are not on your side today.
Dude, not at all.
You bring your hand, and you're like, okay, what's the worst that can happen, right? And you touch the eye, and you feel the energy pulsing through your whole body. Your veins feel like they're about to explode everywhere. Everyone that can see him sees the veins in his face start to glow white and form to his eyes as his eyes gloss over in this pure blue, light blue energy. You feel this raw, like it's your own power, but multiplied by hundreds, coursing through your body. And in quick succession, you see images of the past, the present, something you might think is the future, but you cannot determine anything that's going on until it finally focuses on a single point in the past, where you see your family. And by family, I mean your grandfather, what seems to be his daughter, your mother, Aurora, and that figure descending once again. As they fuse, the bright energy flashes, but you do not go blank. As she crumbles to the ground, spazzing gently. Well, not gently, but spazzing erotically on the ground. Erratically. Excuse me. Erratically on the ground.
That was the best word slip ever.
The front door suddenly burst open. 3 figures enter. Four figures, sorry. Duncan, Xerxes, Calamance, and a third, a female you do not know. They enter the tower, and a small fight breaks out between the two groups. The mages protecting themselves, but cannot hold off against the power of their amulets and the power of their blades. Hugo, who you assume to be Hugo, is slain before your eyes. Your grandfather is shackled. Aurora is gone, almost as if she was never there. Your mother, a child in this form, is taken as well. And the other one, is also slain. You don't really know who he is. From there, the energy of the eye still pulsing with the recently completed ritual. Calamance unstoppers a potion and drinks it. Energy forms through his veins, much as I described for you, and he grows 3 times in size and takes out an enormous blade, one that you recognize to be the one he has now, and he stabs the eye. The iris of the eye widens with the blade pierced into it, and you hear the pulsing of energy shooting out from above, and then suddenly the crashing of earth upon earth up below. Everything tumbling, cascading. You feel as the world itself begins to shake and tremble. Everyone else, Jack suddenly falls from holding his hand against the eye, hitting this sort of elevator down, slump and unconscious.
I
going
will
to
go
dash over to where he's about to fall.
even though he's falling slowly. I'm not dealing with him being on the ground.
Alright, the two of you catch him before he hits the ground. He's still unconscious.
I cast Greater Restoration. I literally don't even care what it's gonna do, or if it fizzles or whatever. I just cast it.
Okay. Well, as you catch him, his face still has those veins bulging on him. You can see them going down his neck towards his heart and spreading throughout his body. You cast Greater Restoration, and the veins slowly die down, and the energy within him ceases to slowly destroy his body.
Well, thank fucking God.
I'm pretty sure it's thank Kylan the healer.
Kylan's thanking God.
No. Jack, you will be unconscious for the rest of the day.
Alrighty.
Do we do a medicine check to be able to know that?
You may go ahead.
You want to help me make my medicine check, Thok?
Yes, I would.
You're pretty sure that he's stable. He'll be okay to transfer if you really need to, but he will not be awake for quite some time. Until the end of the day.
Well, at least we can move this unconscious one.
Yeah, that's true. So are we all? Fuck. Do you think we could build a time to the rock and we could head towards the village and hopefully he's conscious by then?
Carefully, yes.
Okay.
We don't need to tie him. I'll hold him.
Okay. Thank you.
Works too.
All right. Is everyone ready to go?
That looked like a great success, so yes.
Okay. All right. Good.
Depart the tower and head for the rock.
Okay. The rock is there, just waiting.
It is past 9 or past midnight. Anybody have any objection to continuing?
Yeah. We're gonna actually end it there tonight. As you guys saddle up and begin heading off back somewhere. I'm not sure where you guys are actually planning on going, but we'll discuss that in the future. Thank you all for playing. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, stay classy.
How about now? Did we level up now?
Night.
No level up.
What? Now's a good time.
All right. Later.
Bye.